Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bolt Safety Podcast with your host, Karin Kase, and the Bolt Safety team. Did you know that Bolt has 517 people working on our safety team? Unfortunately, not all of them fit into the studio, so we had to make do with 4 of them. Today, we have 4 members of the Bolt Safety team with us in the studio. We have Sarah, Rain, Lucas, and Miriam. And we're going to talk about what does the Bolt Safety team do to make sure that you stay safe every time you use the Bolt app. But first, let's get to know each other. Can you just say who you are and what do you do at Bolt? Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I am a global safety manager at Bolt. What I do is that I work with multiple teams, including the lovely people we have with us here today, in order to set some sort of strategic direction for safety for Bolt. And we work every day on making sure that the platform is safe through different programs and solutions that we put in place together with everyone in the company.
Miriam, what do you do at Bolt?
I work in a team called the Risk Team, and main part of my role currently is making sure that we have numerous action plans in place should any safety-related event ever occur.
Rain, what about you?
I'm the safety operation manager, which means I oversee any and everything related to customer support and safety. So whenever you or anyone has an issue with the Bolt the drivers on our Bolt app, they should contact us straight away, and my team will handle it as quickly as possible.
Lucas?
Cool. Hi. Well, I'm a senior product manager at Bolt. So basically, my responsibility is to really understand the users, riders, or drivers, and try to find opportunities to build in-app solutions that will prevent safety incidents from happening, or if they do, like how we can support them in the best way.
First, let's get some words straight. Every time we talk about safety, we talk about safety incidents. So what actually is a safety incident?
Well, first of all, it's important to obviously say that most rides end without any issues. Usually, passenger will get out of the car, will say goodbye to the driver, close the door, story ends there. Then occasionally, it might happen that things don't always go to plan, and somebody is having some sort of bad experience. Could be that maybe the car was too hot, the driver refused to turn on the AC. For some reason, maybe the driver partner thought that the passenger was being rude to them. Things can happen. But then a very, very small number of rides do end in what we call a safety incident, which basically means that the user left the car or somebody left the interaction feeling less than perfect. They're feeling unsafe or something happened on the ride, and this is where this team comes in to take over.
Exactly. Then it's my team who will take it over. We have, like you said, 517 people who know safety inside and out. In my team, it's around 400 who have been trained in empathy, in customer management, and of course, the plans that Miriam's team put in place. So once you contact, we will make sure that everything will be handled with care and as quickly as possible for the user's benefit.
Now, that's a little bit more personal one. So what exactly does safety mean to you? Sarah, maybe you can start on this one.
Mm-hmm. I think safety has 2 elements to it. The sense of feeling physically protected, physically safe, physically comfortable in an environment around some people in certain settings. And then there is the element of psychological comfort. I trust the person, I'm comfortable around them, and therefore I feel safe. So it goes hand in hand with trust, the sense of safety. And safety for me is something that I assess its risk in my day-to-day life as I go in the street, in my house, outside of my house, but it's also the field that I chose to work in to contribute in shaping safety in the product space, the tech space, and to bring that concept of safety, not just in the day-to-day real life, but also while incorporating technology and thinking about safety and technology as well.
Lucas, what does safety mean to you?
Well, I was born and raised in São Paulo, Brazil. I love my city, but it can be challenging in terms of safety. So all the time you're like self-aware, like, oh, I should not go to this street at this period of the night, that something might happen. And then when I moved to Tallinn, for me, it was like a game changer in terms of safety because I didn't have to think about that anymore. You just stay late and then you walk to your home and that's completely fine. So I kind of realized that safety for me was like not thinking about safety, or that I need to be conscious all the time and make decisions based on, like something that might happen. So at work, when we are like, or doing something, planning to do any initiative, is like, okay, how can we make sure that nobody has to think about, oh, am I safe or not? So for me, it's all about perception and not having to think about the topic.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that has been said right now. For me, it's also paramount to feel safe when I use a service. If we talk about services like Bolt, I need to know that whatever, is it the plane, is it the bus, that I am safe there. I can trust the company, and I know that I can get from A to B without any issues.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, very well said, everybody, and I agree with Sarah that safety is such a integral part of our every day for us. So it is sort of becoming this sort of core, very much a core value, I think. And when we talk about in general day to day and traveling around, I think especially as a woman, feeling safe in a space is everything. And if we can work to make this better for all other people and women out there, then I think that's just fantastic.
How do we make sure that people stay safe during Bolt rides?
Okay, cool. Actually, there are several things that we do before, during the trip, and after the trip. Of course, I will have to talk about safety features because that's what I do. So, for example, like in some countries, we are testing and we actually already make available the recording audio feature, that if you feel not comfortable with a conversation, or when something it's not going accordingly or unusual, you can start to record the trip, and eventually after the trip you can submit that to RCS team, and they are going to try to help you out to figure out the situation and address any of the possible issues. Another thing, you can always, if you feel uncomfortable or you are like in a neighborhood that you don't really trust, you can share your trip before or during the ride, and then you're gonna have like someone that you trust following you, having all the information related to the trip.
I actually use that feature just to let my friends know when I'm gonna be at the location.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I think it's so simple, but at the same time gives you this sentiment or this perception that, okay, I know someone that I trust is following me. And one of the features that I love the most is the ride check, that we are investing a lot, that if something unusual is happening with the car, like, for example, the car is stopped for a very long time and it should not be taking that long for you to finish your boat ride, is like we're going to send you a notification for riders and the partners to confirm if they are okay, also engaging them to use the safety features, and if something, like they confirm they need some assistance, like Rain's team is gonna give them a call, try to check if anything is wrong, and try to help them in the best way.
Yeah, so just to follow up on that, when the ride check feature goes live, and if nobody clicks the phone saying they're safe, we will get a notification, and my team will then straight away call both the rider and the driver partner to check if everything is okay. Plus also one thing that we have is the driver rating and rider rating, which means that if an order is finished, if you rate your order or the trip with 1 star, we will make sure that you will not get paired up again.
We've talked about several safety features already. Is there anything else worth mentioning?
Absolutely. We have a very good feature called the SOS button. So when you feel something is really off, you can press that on the app. It will guide you, first of all, to call the authorities. And as a rule, we also get a notification and we will follow up with you straight away.
So let's say there is this rare occasion where I am left feeling a little bit unsafe after the ride. What should I do?
Well, first thing, and I would say the most important thing, is always let Bolt know. Reach out to us via customer support team. Rain's team will take the case over immediately to start looking into what happened, because that really is the best way for us to understand what went wrong, take any steps that we deem necessary to rectify the situation, and make sure that it won't happen again.
Yeah, I want to emphasize the importance of telling us when something goes wrong. If you feel slightly unsafe, it's important to tell us, because we will not only help you and try to solve the situation and understand what happened in your case, but it will also help us prevent this from happening to other people. So in this sense, you will contribute to building this safer platform with us as we aim to make it safe for everyone.
So Rain, what does your team do when people report feeling a bit unsafe after a ride?
Follow up, first things. We have amazing people around the world who will contact you. Our main contact method on a safety case will be a call. However, we do message in-app as well. And we will gather all the details from the situation. We contact the other party involved, try to get to the bottom of this, and obviously take actions where needed.
No, it's important. Like everybody said, we don't tolerate any offensive behavior. It's not okay. So reporting is one of the best tools for our partners and also the riders to let us know, so we can also collaborate with authorities if needed. We have all the information, and as Sarah and Miriam said, like we can try to prevent that or future cases from happening.
But let's say something goes really, really wrong during a ride. Let's say, for example, there is an accident. What do I do then?
Well, very first thing, you have to ensure that you are okay, and we really engage the riders and drivers to call the emergency services using our app or not, but you have to talk to the police or to call ambulance. You know, like the very first thing that you should do to ask immediate help about authority that can help you in that moment. As soon as you do it, like you make sure that you are fine or everybody's in the car is fine, then you report that to us, and then we are going to start to address. We have internal processes to deal with the situation. Then Rain team is going to be the first layer of support, and after that, I mean, we have several things that is going to happening internally to address and support the riders and drivers.
Mm-hmm. And I want to add as well is that it's never too late to report an incident or report a situation that made you feel uncomfortable. Even if you don't submit that situation to us and communicate it to us right after the ride, there is always still time as you recover. If there is an accident or any unfortunate event, please do still follow up and flag this to us.
Just to quickly add what Lucas also said, that even if you contact us first, the first thing that we will say or ask is, are you okay? Please call the police and ambulance. And only after that, let's follow up.
Now we're going to answer some most asked safety-related questions from people who use the Bolt app to get around. First of all, what happens after I have reported a safety incident?
Many things happen, and it really depends on the type of incident. I think it's important to make it very clear that everybody on the platform are held to our community standards of behavior, be it riders, be it partner drivers. So every report is taken very seriously and investigated. And but for the most part, what happens is we investigate the situation. We get information from both sides. We engage other teams if necessary, and we then deem the necessary actions that we will take. But it really depends on the incident.
And I would like to add that when an incident is reported, we don't only aim to just respond and manage that situation in itself. We, of course, do that and prioritize doing that. But in parallel, we also analyze the case and understand what exactly happened so it can inform our future product solutions so that the situations doesn't occur again. And we aim to be in a preventative state instead of just a responsive state. And that requires that we really hear from you whenever the slightest thing goes wrong so we can learn from it and prevent it from happening to you and to others on the platform.
So it's not only about the support, but also what are our learnings from a safety incident for, to make sure it's not going to happen.
Yep. Just to summarize, even if you report, or first of all, you need to definitely report any issues. And while you might see only the communication between us and you, it's like a lightning that goes into different sections in the background to make sure it won't happen again, if we can make the product better and all that. So a lot of things happen.
Another question that our customers often ask us is, how does Bolt verify drivers? Can anyone become a driver on Bolt platform?
No, not at all. Being super straightforward, the basic thing that we are going to always ask is for you to have a valid driver license. And this is the very basic. And then we have minimal requirements based on the country, that it's not only about the driver documentation, but also about the car and the minimal requirements for each one of these countries. So again, being straightforward, like you cannot just, I really want to be a driver, I will install Bolt app and start driving. No, you can't.
Another question from our customers, what should I do if the car's registration plate doesn't match the one that I can see in the app?
Don't get in.
Don't get in the car.
And after that, report it.
Another question from our customers, what should I do if the vehicle that arrives looks old?
Again, if you don't feel comfortable getting into the car, because we have certain standards to the cars as well, you don't have to get in. But also, if you have the opportunity, we have different categories in different markets or different countries. So you can order, let's say, a comfort one which has much more restrict requirements for the car. But again, don't get in, report. That's the main motto.
I think it is important to say, though, that we do have certain standards for the cars that we do allow on the platform, that there's a minimal age requirement and, yearly safety checks, and different markets have different layers of these kinds of checks. But yeah, I think if you don't feel comfortable, don't get in and let us know.
If the driver cancels the ride and asks me to pay them directly, what should I do?
Well, again, report.
Don't pay.
Yeah, you should not pay outside the app. When you receive the trip information and the price, this should be exactly the amount that you should be paying the driver in case that you're paying cash. If it's like a card payment, everything happens in app. So if you get any sort of situation, the driver is asking you to pay more or pay any fees or anything like that, don't pay and report.
Mm-hmm. If a trip is canceled, then it is canceled. We cannot assist you and support you in a trip that has been canceled and still you take it. Anything can happen. Why was it canceled? Why were you okay with that? If it's about pricing and negotiation of prices, then it becomes out of our realm and out of our control to protect you if the driver charges you more than you need. But most importantly, if any safety incident happens off our platform, then we cannot assist, we cannot follow up, we cannot protect you and provide you the help you need if anything happens. So please, if the trip has been canceled, please don't follow up and get into that trip because it can become risky.
Is there something everybody can do to make sure that all rides end safely?
Yeah, sure. Well, the rider is being safe. Of course, the driver and the environment plays a big part on that. But also the drivers, there are a lot of things they can do, especially in terms of behavior, that will allow them to be safer. So for example, you want to avoid a car accident, right? So if the driver, you see he's or she is busy with the traffic or something, like feels quite off, don't disturb the driver while they are driving. Don't get into heated discussions if you feel like something might goes off. So we need riders and the partners to behave, to be careful, to ensure that everybody's going to be safe in the end of the trip.
Just to maybe add on top of that as well, to have a safe environment. If you want to talk, it's absolutely fine to talk between each other, but I would suggest not to maybe talk about certain topics that can be very sensitive. Yeah, like so. What when I use the Bolt app, I will definitely not talk about religion nor politics, because those.
So basically, the questions you want to avoid at family dinner.
Yes, exactly, because that can heat up the conversation and might not end well.
While we could talk about safety at Bolt for much longer, we will need to end the conversation here. Next time you travel with Bolt, you can just remember that our safety team, including Miriam, Lucas, Rein, and Sarah, will be right beside you. Thanks to our guests, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.